women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
You're watching America This Morning, America's #1 early morning.
Time after time after time, we are watching murderers go free. They hide behind their badges, they hide behind their white privilege, and they use the excuse that they fear for their lives to murder our young people in cold blood.
It's done.
X, my brother.
No, don't think about it.
All you self-righteous assholes do is march and destroy your own communities. Killing me won't change a goddamn thing.
It's a lot different when it's a grown black man standing his ground.
What?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
You're watching America This Morning, America's #1 early morning.
Time after time after time, we are watching murderers go free. They hide behind their badges, they hide behind their white privilege, and they use the excuse that they fear for their lives to murder our young people in cold blood.
It's done.
X, my brother.
No, don't think about it.
All you self-righteous assholes do is march and destroy your own communities. Killing me won't change a goddamn thing.
It's a lot different when it's a grown black man standing his ground.
What?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
You're watching America This Morning, America's #1 early morning.
we are watching murderers go free. They hide behind their badges, they hide behind their white privilege, and they use the excuse that they fear for their lives to murder our young people in cold blood.
It's done.
Ex, my brother.
No. Don't think about it.
All you self-righteous assholes do is march and destroy your own communities. Killing me won't change a goddamn thing.
It's a lot different when it's a grown black man standing his ground.
What?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
You're watching America This Morning, America's #1 early morning.
Time after time after time, we are watching murderers go free. They hide behind their badges, they hide behind their white privilege, and they use the excuse that they fear for their lives to murder our young people in cold blood.
It's done.
Ex, my brother.
No. Don't think about it.
All you self-righteous assholes do is march and destroy your own communities. Killing me won't change a goddamn thing.
It's a lot different when it's a grown black man standing his ground.
Barbershop conversation, guys. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. I appreciate y'all coming through tonight, man. Did the Giants win? I don't know. I don't know who won that game. I had to leave. But before that, let's welcome people to the show, man. Los from the Jungle. I haven't seen it, so I need you guys to come in, and you guys been DMing me those interviews, but I haven't seen them. I wish Ellie would just do a full, after he put the clips, he should just do a full interview, man, so we can just sit down and see what it's like. Kane, Adolfo, Silverstream, Salmon. Yeah, the G-Men won. Yes, Adolfo, we won, baby. We won. Stand up. I left. I mean, I haven't seen it since they scored and they missed the extra point. It was 14-9 the last I saw. So, yes, I'm happy. I'm happy. That made my day. Good. So we in the playoffs and they out of the playoffs. And that's gonna impact Tank Davis pay-per-view numbers greatly if the Washington Redskins, Commodores, man, they the Redskins, man. Mama call them Clay. I'm gonna call them Clay. So they gonna be the Redskins till I die. You know what I mean? So so they'll be out the playoffs, and as I was saying, they will impact Tank Davis pay-per-views in that region. 20-12. Yes. And so So we'll see what happens because that's the last week of the playoffs. And I don't know if the Commodores will be in if they're playing Saturday or Sunday. So we'll find out. We'll find out shortly, man. What's up, Birdman, man? Hey, Adolfo. Yeah. The Cowboys lost. Yeah, man. I don't know what's up with the Cowboys, man. I don't know the Cowboy fans, man. They that's man, listen. They stands should be empty, right? I love black people. Hey, the same thing boxing fans did with Golden Boy is the same thing Cowboy fans did with Jerry Jones. Hit ignore. You know when your phone rings, ignore. And things that nature that, well, how can I have a conversation? Anytime, man, just hit me, DM me. I'm very accessible, especially cyberly. I have annexed about 80% of my phone calls, you know what I mean? Because I think I realized because all during COVID, I was working on projects and I enjoy not being on the phone all day, trying to get interviews, doing the projects, doing the films, buying property, tenants. Man, I was on the phone all day during COVID, a lot of the day. And I'm actually happy, you know what I mean? So I really don't answer the phone from anybody, basically. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, hit my deal, man. I'm working on a project now, but I don't think it's gonna be ready next year because the creativity takes a lot out of me in terms of how I'm creating it. I can't do it in one day. It's not something that I've researched for 10 or 15 years. Like the two projects I did were in me for like 20 years. So they were easy to come out, you know what I mean? Writing the script and doing all that. It was easier, I should say. It took years of reading and writing. I want to do a boxing movie, at some point. It should be pretty good. Okay, yeah. Okay, good. Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, so so at some point I will do a boxing film. AD is in street clothes. Anthony Davis is in street clothes, y'all. He's in street clothes. Here we go again. I'm just filibustering. So everybody can pile in. Anything else happen in sports? Oh man, outside dog. I tell you what, I totally missed Devin Booker's performance last night because of boxing, and they were down by 20. They were down by 20, right? So I just cut the game off. I go on the internet and they won. I'm like, how did they win the game? You know what I mean? Between the Phoenix Suns and the Minnesota Vikings, you know what I mean? That comeback they had, Indianapolis ought to be destroyed for that one, man. Hey, did y'all see Jokic? He had 40-something, 27 rebounds, and like 11 assists. Something like that. A nasty triple-double. He had like a Wilt Chamberlain triple-double. 15 points, 20 rebounds in the first half. Man, look at this. This dude is a baller. He might be MVP again this year. Ja Morant. And he had a steal. Damn. Wow. So yeah, man. I remember during COVID, the player from the Denver Nuggets called in. I forget his name. Damn. He's from Baltimore. Oh, what's his name? I appreciate him coming in. We tried to get him on as a guest, but it didn't come on. I appreciate him hanging out with us that evening too. Oh man, you never know who's listening to the show. And but yeah, we're gonna get into the Earl Spence situation because I know that's an important conversation that we need to have. But Frank Martin, man, I thought Frank Martin looked extraordinary last night. I thought he looked good. He made a good fighter look average. I'm not gonna call him great or anything like that. And Frank Martin looked really, really good, man. He really neutralized Will Barton. Thank you, TB. Will Barton. He hollered at us for an evening. Very impressed with Frank Martin. Derek James does a great job. He always does a great job in terms of the preparation. You know, there's a handful of fighters you can always depend on. You know, Derek James, Coach Cunningham. What we say, Camp Cunningham. I think Malik Scott is getting into that. Darren Islam, yeah. Yeah. Man, hit me anytime, man. You can hit me anytime. Hit me anytime. Who else? Who else is in that club where you know they're gonna be prepared? Buddy McGirt. I never worry about these guys and they fighters missing weight. Let me go through that again. Derek James, I never have any concerns about his fighters. Kevin Cunningham, Malik Scott, he's 2 for 2. He did a great job with Wilder, you know what I mean? But he fought the best heavyweight in the world. I think he's 2 for 2 with Wilder in terms of preparation. Fury got up again. Ronnie Shields, yeah. I think he needs to do more with Jamal Charlo, though. I think Jamal Charlo is predictable in terms of the upper echelon. You know, jab, 1-2. He doesn't have a double left hook to the body and up top. He doesn't really have those, and he's flat-footed. I think he needs to get a little bit more, but he's 30-some years old. He ain't changing. So in terms of making weight, I think he does an exceptional job with Jamal Charlo making weight, because Jamal Charlo looks like a NFL DB in real life, you know. What else? Malik Scott, Bertie McGirt. He did a really good job with Kovalev. Most notable that I've seen recently. He's done a hell of a job. I know it's hard with Kovalev making weight. You know, he did catch weights like crazy, you know, until he got with Buddy McGirt. What else? Let's see. Those are the handful of fighters trainers that I ultimately believe in. You know what I'm saying? Like I have no concerns. Like I don't worry about Adrian Broner. You know, I don't know what weight they fighting at, but I have no concerns. AB is gonna be in shape. He's actually looks better now. You know, and since we're on Derek James, we'll stay there. Yeah, Kevin Cunningham is a beast, right? So is Derek James. Derek James did a hell of a job with Frank Martin. I think Frank Martin is going to be better in his next fight. Derek James, Frank Martin, I thought he knew he was going 12 rounds. So I thought Frank Martin kind of took off the gas between rounds 4 through 6. But because then he realized the dude was inferior. What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? The dude was inferior. I'm trying to think of his name. Miguel Rivera. He was inferior, so it was what it was, you know. But yeah. Ooh, what a stop. Ooh, what a stop by Argentina's goalie. Whew. Penalty shootout. So yeah, man, I very impressed with him. I ain't gonna lie. I was very impressed with Frank Martin. Can he beat these guys, the Tank Davises? Tank Davis, who else? Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson. I think Shakur is a generational talent. I think if anybody beats Shakur, I think you got to have dynamite in your hands. I think Tank Davis is probably I think Tank Davis is probably the closer because he got dynamite. I think Devin and Shakur is whoever you like that night, but I would give Shakur the advantage if all things are even. But if Shakur Stevens is doing what he's doing now, I take Devin. You know, I love Devin's discipline. I love Devin's discipline. Like y'all said, oh, it's not a big deal. Shakur missed weight. Now the man can't get a fight. You know what I mean? Because he would have been somebody's mandatory at 135, but the lack of discipline, now he can't get a fight. And guess what? It fucked up his pay. Now he got to go in the ring and get what, $800,000? You know what I'm saying? So what else? But Devin Haney's discipline, I can't say enough about Devin Haney's discipline, because there's no way he should be at 135 right now at this stage in his career. So I would give, if you ask me to make a bet, I would bet on Devin Haney today. But since they're not fighting today, time will tell. You know what I mean? Because Shakur Stevenson got some immaturity issues, man. You know what I mean? He talks very mature, but I think he has role model issues. That's what he got. He got role model issues. So I question those mob tie guys and the fighter lifestyle and the disciplines. And I don't know why you want to impress street dudes and you're already a millionaire. You know what I mean? Shit. You already got the rep. And that rep needs to be put to bed, you know, for the most part. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. What a freaking catch. So that's where I'm at with that. Well, he officially fought at 135 because it was over. You know, it was over 130. So that's officially 135, if I'm not mistaken. So his last fight was at 135. But in terms of a 145 guy, nah, he hasn't done that yet. No, he hasn't done it yet. So no, he hasn't done that. But did he get in bounds? Hey, this was a hell of a game between the Giants and the Redskins. I'm watching the highlights now. Oh my God, what an idiot by that. Oh my God. He's in. Touchdown. Oh my God. False start. Dude, that quarterback blew it. That quarterback should have. Oh, that was PI for sure. That Giants got away with a PI in the end zone. But that quarterback should have done a John Elway in the Super Bowl. Should have helicoptered into the end zone. You know what I mean? But as bad as Tom Brady is, he's in the worst division. So he's going to win first place, and they're going to backdoor their way into the playoffs. But yeah, that 135-pound division is looking good. I got Devin, Shakur, and Tank up there, man. Oh man, but after this fight, it looks like Devin is moving up. So Devin will be gone. So now we just got two guys. We got Shakur and Devin, and they will never fight. I don't even know. Listen, we couldn't even. They will only come together if they have different fan bases. You know what I mean? Because they are subservient to their promoters. Shakur with Bob and Tank with Al. You know, they are subservient. So what I mean by that is they won't step out of that and do their own thing and demand certain things. They're just going to talk. I told you the 135-pound division is like the Sadie Hawkins dance. And these guys are sitting on the wall with their Gucci belt and their Jordans waiting for a girl to ask them to dance. That's what it's like, man. It's like middle school. They're very young. They're immature. They got a lot of chains. They got a lot of cars, but they're not in control. They're very kid-like, you know. And I literally expect nothing out of 135 in terms of the maturity. I don't expect it. I'm talking about them as a whole, not as an individual, as a collective. I don't expect them. I think they're all. I think as a whole, they're childish, immature, selfish. Don't understand the business of boxing. Don't understand their value. Great fighters though. Great fighters. You got some great fighters down there, but they don't get it, man. They're just gonna listen to their promoter and get their check, man. But Frank Martin called out he called out Rolly. Rolly's gone. Rolly's going to 140. He's gonna fight in the title eliminator, which will get him nowhere, you know. Man, poor Rolly, man. Rolly's really a boxing star. Rolly's a boxing star that really doesn't really know he's a boxing star. You know, like he's a star. I'm not saying he's a superstar and he's going to sell pay-per-views and he can headline and do all that, but he's a personality star. You know what I mean? Like you kind of go to him to see what he has to say. You know, Keyshawn and Frank Martin will never fight, man. Never. They're in different eras. You understand what I'm saying? Keyshawn is behind. Keyshawn is going to be behind this crop. You know, for real. They'll never fight each other. Bob Arum will never sell his talent. You understand? He'll never do that for another promoter. You know, Keyshawn is going to look extraordinary for the next 2 years. And then he's going to fight a Mexican. And, you know, Bob Arum does that. Bob Arum don't do, Keyshawn Davis is going to fight a Mexican in LA or Vegas. And that's going to be his breakout fight. And then it just works that way. That's just how Top Rank does it. And for y'all to be expecting anything different is ridiculous. You know, you know, Pitbull versus Martin. Ain't no way in hell they'll make that fight. Ain't no way in hell. No, you saw what he did. You saw what he did to what you call it? Nah, man. Come on, man. He ain't doing that. Y'all know that, man. Why y'all asking these questions, man? Nah, he ain't fighting no Pitbull. Hell to the nah. That's the only Mexican star that PBC has. Tell me another Mexican star that PBC has. Mikey Garcia is retired. Leo don't sell tickets. I don't know if y'all know that. That fight only gets made if it has to get made. PBC don't have a Latino star. Help me out. Do PBC have a? Oh no! They got David Benavidez now. They got David, but that's Arizona and LA. Yeah. They got David Benavidez. If he looks good against Caleb Plant, but Caleb Plant coming. Dog. I think Caleb Plant has a great, intelligent left hand. That's gonna be two giants colliding. I'm really looking forward to that fight. That's a good fight for PBC. Hopefully they do that ASAP. Like, yeah, he did. He dropped his belt, TB. So I think that they should do that fight first. The first week of March, drop it before the NC2A tournaments come. They need to do that fight first. That fight needs to happen. That would be great for PBC to get some momentum. You understand? But we'll see. We'll definitely see. I don't know what they're gonna do with that one. But yeah, man, it's PBC got a chance to get back in the mix, but do they have the money? Before I get into the Earl Spence, Derrick James stuff, because we're gonna spend all night on that shit. Did y'all see the cutbacks from Showtime? No Ray Flores. Did y'all see Rollo, whatever his name is? He did the post-fight interviews. It was no Steven Espinoza. It was no Sam Watson. It was no Watson, his sons. Y'all call them the Watson twins. They wasn't in the ring. What's up, Avery? Leonard Ellaby. There was no Leonard Ellaby interviews, man. No one stayed to watch the Leonard Ellaby card, man. They started that card at 10:30, 11 o'clock last night, dog. They started it 10:30, 11 o'clock, man. I can't wait to hear what Eddie Hearn has to say. Hey, IFL TV, can y'all get a part 2 to Ain't No Sunshine When Tank Gone? Hey, Eddie, say Ellaby's name. Eddie, say Ellaby's name. I really want to see, man. I really want to see, man. Hey, Dana Joe, Rolly is a world-class level black belt in judo. Won't be surprised if he doesn't end up fighting in the UFC. Man, that would be great. That would be great if he double dipped. That would be great for him. You know what I mean? He need to. I'm gonna keep it a buck. He crazy enough to do it too. I would love to see Rolly. You know what I mean? I know. Earl don't take him too serious, man. Earl having fun with him. But Rolly is a star. Rolly is a star, man, and hopefully he's able to maximize it. You know, like I was honestly, I saw one interview by Rolly, and I was like, I want to hear more. Last night, I watched 2 or 3 interviews. You know what I mean? But I watched them all. I wish we had more of them. You know, I was all in on them. And then, so let's start with Derek James too. I didn't really, outside of, I thought Derek James did a masterful job at training. I've never had any complaints about Derek James training. I think he did a masterful job. I watched those interviews and I thought he was a bit disingenuous. You know what I mean? The one from the press conference, and hopefully this gets to him too, because I didn't like that interview. I didn't like it because he said, I just hold the mitts, and then he said the price went up. And I was like, see, I would have caught that if I was interviewing him. You understand? But that's when you come from a journalist background, you pick up on shit like that. You know what I mean? Oh, Rolly should be all the above. WWE, UFC, PBC, Showtime, everything. He should be everything. You know what I mean? And appreciate you, Main Event. Thank you so much. I don't like how he stepped on Terrence Crawford. And like I said, I didn't like how Terrence Crawford downplayed it last week neither. I talked about that last week. I didn't like how Terrence Crawford just said, oh, I'm going to chill and do it. No, you got to say Earl Spence's name, you know? And I just didn't like it, man. I don't like how we got this. I don't like how. Okay, let me preface this by saying it. And my investment team in LA is 5 black men. Everybody makes a different level, right? But we're all multimillionaires, but we all are at different levels, right? And there are some things that I don't want and disagree with, and I get investment opportunities, and I'll be like, I don't know about that, and I 100% disagree with them. But guess what? If they need $100,000 to close the deal, $150,000 to close the deal, I'll give them $150,000 to close the deal. I know I'm gonna get my money back. Simply put. And we recycle money, share money as it pertains to that, and that's why our portfolios has grown, especially during COVID, has grown astronomically, right? And I don't like how, because I remember listening to Derek James, he said, and I'll never forget this quote. He says, if you love me, you'll fight me. And he made reference to black fighters not fighting each other. I forget what fight it was. Was it McCallum and somebody? He'll tell the story better than I can, obviously. But I don't like how they're distancing themselves from each other. I don't like how Earl Spence team and Terrence Crawford's team are distancing themselves from each other. You know, it's your fault. It's your fault. Because let me tell you guys something. And hopefully Earl Spence is listening. Hopefully Derek James. Hopefully everybody. Hopefully somebody's listening on Earl Spence side and on Terrence Crawford's side. And I know I'm gonna be public enemy number one. And it's because I care. And I'm only gonna tell you guys the truth. At the end of the day, you can fight, claw, lie, and say I'm on this side of the street, say I'm on that side of the street. Boxing don't love y'all motherfuckers. I'm gonna say that again. Boxing does not love y'all motherfuckers. Y'all think boxing love y'all. Y'all think boxing is gonna protect y'all forever, and you guys are gonna be going to history. No. There's another train coming in 3 years. Listen to me carefully, and listen to me clearly. If y'all don't protect one another, boxing fans are gonna move on from y'all because you guys are doing what I'm trying to pronounce the word. I can write it, but I don't know if I can say it. Irreprehensible damages to the boxing fans. And what I mean by that, you have I think Spence and Crawford together has collectively turned a percentage of boxing fans off. And I didn't like Terrence Crawford's comments last week. I didn't like Earl Spence comments last week. I didn't like Derek James comments this week. And I know there's not a $20 million fight out there for Earl outside of Canelo. And I'm keeping it a buck. Earl is going to make weight for $3 to $5 million. Shit, fuck that. Nah. It don't work that way. It don't work that way. And I've done deals. I've done people's. No. You got to understand. I'm talking about the fans as a collective, not as an individual. The people in here, we're going to buy the fight. All right. But oh man, they're doing so much damage to boxing because they're not speaking like as men. You know what I mean? Because I've consistently, I would say sometimes I bullshit and I want to play, and I don't know if there's ever been a question I've never answered on this show. I don't know if I have or haven't, but you guys will have to remind me. But I'm not going to say I'm perfect. But let's say out of 100 questions, Frederick will answer as honest as I can 97 of them, 97 out of 100. Let's say 3 questions that I just missed. I don't know what they are, but I'm just, because if I call myself perfect, no, you're not, Fred. You lied here. It's not a matter if I lie, it's whether I answer the question. And I didn't like how Terrence Crawford bullshitted and bull jived us by saying I'm a Hall of Famer. I don't need Spence. I don't need this. I don't need that. I didn't like the shit. I didn't like it at all. I didn't like how Earl was like, man, I don't know. I'm gonna just go do this and do that. I don't like that type of conversation, man. It turns the fans. Y'all don't understand. And this is why I wish I could talk to them directly. You know, I probably could talk to Earl directly, but they don't understand the big picture in this. They don't understand it. They don't, because they're wealthy and I believe they live in a bubble. And they don't, and I wish they really, really understood, but they have chosen their sides. Earl Spence has said he's all in with Al Heyman. So he and Al have conjured up a plan, and we'll see if it works. You know, I will say it doesn't work. Fighting once a year, it doesn't work. You know, and good catch. And I really wish that I could explain it to these guys, man. I don't give a fuck how much money you made. Oh, he stepped out. I don't care how much money you make during your career. It's not enough. I'm going to say that now. If you are a fighter, I don't care how much money you made, it's not enough. Because you're living a lifestyle now that must be sustained. Like, for example, I don't know what kind of car Terrence Crawford drive, but since I follow Earl Spence and I have how you say it? I have intentionally followed him like because one would say because I care, because I'm a fan. So I know what kind of car that he got into the wreck with, right? It's not his fault. The car that he got into a wreck with, right? That's a $300,000 car. I was gonna buy one, but I'm not sitting in the gas station anymore. I'm waiting to 2025 to get me a Rolls Royce, but then I can't get that because I'm waiting for the truck to be 100% electric, right? So I was gonna put down my $5,000 and it didn't work out. So I gotta wait till 2027, I guess. But anyhow, long story short. So let's say Earl Spence retires, right? Because so you guys know I had a Bentley GT Coupe. That popular Bentley, the 2-door. It was a hard top though. It wasn't a rag top. That Bentley, oil change, $600. Yeah, I said oil change, $600. Every time I went to the dealership, $5,000. I ain't lying. I'm just saying, so that's a lifestyle that Earl Spence has to live because he has the toys to come with it. He got to pay agricultural tax. I don't think he pays property tax because he has animals on this, but there's some type of agricultural assessments fees that he got to pay because he's on a farm, and I don't know if he's doing it for commerce or as a sole proprietor. I don't know. I'm gonna open up the lines in a second, TB. And so there's a certain lifestyle. You got to pay your property tax, the quality of life for your kids. There's so many different things, and that's why I say you're never gonna make enough money. Mike Tyson, for example, no one's gonna live a Mike Tyson lifestyle. I think that's a one of one. But I'm saying, like, you got a guy like Evander Holyfield, just ran through the money, and the reason why these rappers really don't go broke because they get quarterly checks, so it kind of saves them a little bit, and but I just don't like how I don't like neither one of them. I'm gonna go hard on Al in a second. Let me open up the phone lines because it'll be 10 minutes left in the show by the time I get done. Yeah, man, it's ridiculous, man. And I remember having a Bentley, man. That shit was ridiculous, man. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful car. It does what it did, but 925. What's up? I'm feeling great, man. It was it was nobody there. It was like 40% full, it looked like. Mhm. Yeah, I told her it's gonna be free. It's gonna be free. Don't even buy a ticket. It's gonna be free. Fight night. Uh-huh. Mhm. Yeah, he has to fight in June because Canelo. You can't hear the caller? Can y'all? No, that's you, Kane. That can y'all hear the caller? No, not you. But I'm saying, yeah, Kane said he can't hear you. So, oh, they can't hear you. Oh shit. So call right back. Let me fix something. Yeah, I can't fix. I gotta fix something. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, I'm fixing it now. So let me fix this. All right, I just reset. All right, cool. Oh, yeah, I can't hear him. Shit, I just fixed it. I think I got to restart my damn computer for that shit. Yeah, because I had to restart my computer to start the show. All right, go ahead and call in, y'all. All y'all. And let's see if it works now. Damn, y'all. I'm sorry. I'll get better. Oh, y'all gonna have to beam in. Beam in, baby. Beam in, baby. Beam in. Where Kyle at? Where Kyle not here tonight? And they don't understand this. Deontay Wilder did 7. They said he did let's say he did it less than 100,000, or just we gonna give him $100,000. Yeah, that maintenance warranty is big time. Let's just say Wilder did $100,000, 100,000 pay-per-view buys, right? That means they don't really. The analytics say, man, these black fans, they ain't buying no pay-per-views. So you know what we need to do? We need to add another fan base to it. We need to add the Filipino fan base. We need to add the Mexican fan base. We need to add the Puerto Rican fan base. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that's where boxing is from a safe standpoint. I'm not saying that they're right, but just from a safe standpoint, I believe that that they're gonna have to do something about it. Oh, you left, user? Okay, so but I and I think Al Heyman is just. I think Al Heyman is. I don't hate Al Heyman. I don't have respect for him, because the reason why I don't have respect for Al Heyman is because he don't have the infrastructure nor the money to provide for these fighters. But he won't tell them. Earl Spence said he's coming back in June. June? Man. Come on. Wilder said he want to fight 3 times. Wilder ain't fighting until July. This is awful, man. It's awful. And I'm going to keep on beating this drum. And everybody going to be like, Fred, you're right. I'm going to be public enemy number 1 for the next 6-7 months. Okay. And I don't mind. I don't mind. Life is good, you know. But by the end of 2023, everybody's going to be saying, Fred, you were right. 100%. 1000% you were right. Just think, Leonard Ellaby said, I ain't fighting on no app. We fight on Showtime. Showtime is the number 1. Me and Al Heyman, we do business together. Check this out. If Al Heyman is so great and Leonard Ellaby relationship is so great, how come PBC went to Vegas? Listen to what I'm saying. PBC went to Vegas and Mayweather Promotions didn't promote. I'm going to say that again because I want to get my Umar Johnson on. PBC went to Vegas. What's up, Corey Lee Boxing, man? That's my dude, man. That's my dude. He went to. Hey, are you going to the Tank Davis fight, Corey Lee? Hit me up, man. I'll maybe you can be like my rogue correspondent, man. I'll pay you to do the Tank Davis fight, man, and get those rogue interviews and stuff like that. We don't need a credential. If you want, man, let me know. And that's another thing. I want to get some correspondence, dog, because you don't need credentials anymore. You don't need. I'll buy you a ticket. You know, we'll negotiate a daily rate, and your job is to get interviews, and all you need is your iPhone. All you need is an iPhone and a microphone hookup and an external mic and one of those motherfucking things you got. I'll pay for all of that. You know what I mean? And we'll work it out. And all you got to do is go to the weigh-in on Friday. You'll get all the interviews. You don't need a motherfucking credential. Nah, the credential days are over. The credential days is getting a credential in boxing means literally nothing. It doesn't mean nothing because it has value. But the interviews we want, like the Ellie interview, you don't need a credential for that. You just got to get a relationship with them. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, that'll be great. So Corey, let's hook up on that, man, and see what we can do as it pertains to that. And so I would love someone in Vegas, New York, Baltimore every now and again, because not many fights go there. And yeah, Atlanta for the Broner fight, man. See what we can do there. And so fight by fights, man. What are the requirements? I don't know. We'll work it out. I mean, I have requirements. I mean, I would hope that you have some level of background, you know what I mean? But we'll work it out. Even if you don't worry about it. I'll give you the 5 or 10 questions to ask if you want me to. And your job is to be fearless. Fuck these fighters. Fuck what? Nah. We are 100% all in on the fans. We gonna respect the fighters. We gonna respect what they do, but our job is to ask these questions, man. I'm gonna have fun this year. I really want to. I really want to disturb boxing, man. I really want to interrupt boxing, man, and give it back to the fans. I really want to do that this year. So anybody out there in Vegas, I can get you in the door. You ain't got to worry about that. You know what I mean? And we'll start doing interviews. You know what I mean? And we'll work it out. I want correspondence in Vegas, New York, and LA. I don't want to go to a fight in LA. I'm too popular, but I'm going to a fight if it's at Staples Center. I can't wait to take Lincoln to a fight. But StubHub, that shit is for Crips and Bloods and essays. I'll go up my guy friends, but I will never take Lincoln to a StubHub fight until he's 15. You know, it's just insane. You know what I mean? But anyways, but yeah, I definitely want to do that, man. So Corey, it's interview time. Yeah. So let's catch up, Corey, and see how we can figure this out. What else? Beer be flying everywhere at the StubHub Center. I'm gonna tell you what's a guarantee at StubHub Center. It's going to be a fight. 100% is going to be a fight. I don't care if it's a PBC card, Top Rank card, Golden Boy card, the Zone card. It's going to be a fight at StubHub. There's something about people wearing tank tops and drinking beer. It's something about it. It's something about tank tops and beers, man. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna fight. So Earl is fighting in June, by the latest June. And the funny thing ever is, this is how well connected I am. I'm gonna tell you how great of connection I am. I told Team Spence, you ain't fighting till at least April of next year. They probably said, Fred, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. You crazy, man. Man, I told you, man, I am so connected with PBC. It is insane. I'm telling you, it is just insane how like dialed in I am with them. And I give the information to the fighters, and I think they think I'm crazy. You know what I mean? They think I'm crazy. I think Spence should be fighting in late February. Yeah, it should be pretty good. I think it's gonna be a good card, man. I feel bad that the Peterson brothers that Lamont guy still got to fight though, man. That's awful. You know what I mean? And I don't think he's coming back with Barry Hunter. I don't think that if he's not coming back with Barry Hunter, something's fishy there. You know what I mean? Maybe they got into an argument. Maybe he believed he stole some money. Because at the end of a fighter's career, the fighters always believe it may be true or may not be true. I'm just telling you what history has shown us. You robbed me. You didn't do this for me. You didn't do that for me. So if he's not coming back with Barry Hunter, there's something there. You know, I don't know what it is. I ain't spoke to nobody in Baltimore. But Baltimore should be calling me. Yeah, you know what I mean? Adrian Broner fight will be a sumo wrestler, man. Nah, Broner gonna be in shape. Oh, he not at Headbangers anymore? Damn. That's awful. You know. But yeah, man, I really want to interrupt boxing because boxing is a sport that we can truly make headways. You know what I mean? And the catch is we want them to say, nah, I don't fuck with you. That's what we want them to say because we are going to expose them. We're going to expose them. If you don't fuck with the fans, we gonna expose them, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, we gonna expose them. Yeah, Earl Spence leg is hurt. He was gonna fight in February. Oh man, you fucking up, man. Listen, men do this shit all the time, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. We got a lot of pride. Fred has a lot of pride. Fred has a big ego. Fred is arrogant. Fred is proud of himself. Fred is all those selfish adjectives or verbs that you could think of. I'm not even gonna sit here and pretend, right? At times I am that, right? But the one thing I am not, I'm gonna tell you the one thing I am not prideful when it comes to making the right decision. Nah. Fred will make the right decision in a hailstorm. Fred will make the right decision in a thunderstorm. Fred will make the right decision amongst Crips and Bloods. I'm just telling you, that's how I'm wired. And I learned my lesson about trying to fuck up, about doing the right thing versus doing the wrong thing in terms of your decision. You know what I mean? I played in college. But Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford is really fucking with the time things are supposed to happen. You know what I mean? If Earl said he was going to make an announcement in February and then he gets into a car accident, in my head, I swear to God, in my head, I would be like, hold up, car accident, retina, car accident, done derailed my career. I got to start making right decisions. Like fuck my emotions, fuck my ego. Because you're fucking up God's timing. You're fucking, in my opinion, you're fucking up God's timing. You know, his fight announcement was supposed to be the Tuesday after the Crawford fight. I don't know if he would have made the announcement this week with Frank Martin fighting, because that would have fucked up the promotion for Frank Martin. You get what I'm saying? You know, I don't know. But I'm not going to say because I don't know. Shit, he missed the Jets missed the field goal. It probably wouldn't have been this week, L, but probably would have been the following week or something. But if he's making an announcement to fight, it would have been Keith Thurman, because he said something that was interesting. If you listen to him, he said, maybe we'll revisit the fight. So that means he's fighting at 147. He's going to defend his belts. So that means he's fighting Keith Thurman. And if he fights Keith Thurman, that means he's 100% all in on Al Heyman. You understand? Like he believes Al Heyman will lead him to greener pastures. And if he does that route, Al Heyman wants Canelo. Al Heyman's ultimate goal is not Earl Spence, it's Canelo. I think Keith Thurman, Earl Spence is a hell of a fight. You know, he said he wouldn't fight him, but that's something he got to deal with. And the Terrence Crawford, the Terrence Crawford fans are gonna come after his ass. I like the fight. I've always said I like the fight. I'm just tired of Keith Thurman. I think Keith Thurman is a liar. I don't think he respects boxing nor the fan base. But I like the Keith Thurman Earl Spence fight, but but Al Heyman's gonna make him eat his words, and then I think they're just gonna move on, and it's all contingent upon May 15th. You said, Fred, what's May 15th? Hey, y'all can beam it. Hey, the phone lines are open, so it should be fixed. Or y'all could beam in. May 15th is when the negotiations start for Canelo. And I think Earl's gonna be a part of that package, man. Let's see if I get it right, man. Oh, come on. What's up, man? Yeah. All right, we're gonna see. Can y'all hear him? Mic check. Can y'all I reset it. I know. Well, he said he's fighting in June, May, or April, but he said June 1st. No, they can't. No, they can't hear you. Dog. Can you beam in? Just click the link in the chat. You ain't got to cut your camera on. Okay, try that for sure. All right, for sure. I don't know what the hell is going on, man. What's up, Harold? I don't know what's going on with my program. But yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, but here's the catch though. If I am thinking in my head, and I'm gonna keep it a buck, if I'm going to drop my stance on Keith Thurman and fight him, shit, I might as well drop how I feel about Crawford. You get what I'm saying? Fuck what's up, Taiwan? Fuck. I mean, it's the same thing. And honestly, Keith Thurman might be worse. The Democrat side of side. Oh man, nah, it's the baby daddies, man. It's the baby daddies, man. They want to silence me, man. I think that he might as well, if he gonna fight Keith Thurman, you might as well fight Terrence Crawford. And this is what I would tell Earl. You understand what I'm saying? And Derek James should be saying it too. Why the fuck would you fight Keith Thurman when you could fight Terrence Crawford? Do you understand my logic? Because it's visceral for Keith Thurman. Like fuck, like Earl don't respect Keith Thurman. And I think he doesn't, and I think he respects Terrence Crawford. I think that he respects him as a great fighter. I don't think he respects Keith Thurman as a great fighter. You know, I don't. I think he don't like him at all. Like he done put out so many tweets. But if you're gonna fight Keith Thurman, you might as well fight Terrence Crawford. You're gonna get $20 million, where you're gonna get 5 to 7 million versus Keith Thurman. You know what I mean? And then Al don't pay you all at once. How many fighters? Man, I can't. I can't disclose that information. I'll just say this. If you got a $5 million paid, oh no, I'm gonna shut up, because then that gives away some of my allies. You know what I mean? I'll just say Al Heyman don't pay you what he's supposed to pay you at one time. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. All right. And from multiple sources, I've heard the same story. All around the world, same song. Same song. And I didn't think Earl was fat. I think Earl is just I think he's not fighting. I think he's at least 3 months away from fighting. You thought Earl was fat? I didn't think Earl was fat. I didn't. I thought Earl was just, he's gonna be 170, guys. It's just no way around it, dog. Like he's gonna be 170, 175. I didn't think he was fat though. I thought Earl was like in out of camp shape. So he's gonna look fat in the regular eye. But I thought Earl looked good. I really did. I see I didn't see no qualms with him. I didn't, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you saw something different. I didn't see like a protruding stomach or anything like that, or I didn't. I thought he looked good. Even in the Ellie videos I saw, I thought he looked good. I didn't see him fat. I just saw he's at his walking around weight. Oh, you got to see him from this. Where can I send you the picture? Oh, you can send it to my DM. Send it to my DM. Yeah, man. Earl, I didn't think he was fat at all. I didn't think he was fat at all. I thought Earl looked good. I thought he was happy. I mean, I'm just mad that I shouldn't say mad, but because I knew it wasn't happening. Y'all was November 17th, November 19th, the whole boxing world except me told y'all the fight wasn't happening. Even Steven Espinoza lied to y'all motherfuckers. I thought he looked good. I'm happy for Earl, man. He looked good, man. To me, he looked good. I don't like his decision to trust Al Heyman. I don't like that decision. There's never been, what a move by Justin Fields. There's never been, oh, he stepped out. There's never been a fighter and promoter to start and end their career on great terms. It's never been. In the history of the sport, you've never seen it. You've never seen it with Al Heyman. You've never seen it with anybody else. Tell me a fighter that's retired that ended their career with Al Heyman. Floyd is doing exhibitions. He has another promoter, that black lawyer. And anybody else? Manny Pacquiao is not with him. He's doing. Tell me a fighter. We all know it didn't happen with Bob Arum. Tim Bradley did. Oh, Tim Bradley did. Tim Bradley, because he got the job at ESPN. So Timothy Bradley. Anybody from PBC? I would say Floyd, not Floyd, because he's still fighting, but he got that black lawyer that's representing him. And he's doing it out the country, and he's getting cash. See, Floyd is getting wires straight to his bank account, so he don't have to exclude Al Heyman. You know what I mean? Sean Porter, that's a good one. Sean Porter, Andre Berto. Andre Berto trying to get a fight though. Andre Berto trying to get a fight. So they are a handful. Sean Porter, but his career high payday was with Top Rank. How ironic, We're all mixed. What's up? What's up, man?
Yo, what's up, Fred?
You at work or at home?
No, I'm at home. I had a day off today.
Okay, thank you. So we talking about, did you get a chance to watch the fight? And we're talking about the Earl Spence interviews and all that.
I did watch the fight, man. I was very impressed by Frank Martin.
He good? Isn't he dope?
Yeah, but I was also very disappointed by Rivera. I think they both kind of show their true colors. I think Rivera was kind of limited. He didn't really have much footwork. He didn't really have much defense. He didn't really have much timing. Like when I said in the chat was he needs to shave his head, change his trunks, and change his name. He can stop with that whole Ali shit now. Other than his likeness. You know what I mean? You gotta come with a whole new game plan. Mm-hmm. That's really what put him out there. Let's be honest, right? Like he had a little stick with the Ali shit. Everyone's like, who's this little Ali guy? He looked like him, he wore the same shit, same haircut. He looked good at times against lesser competition. Mm-hmm. But I was impressed by Frank Martin's footwork and his timing in particular. He did look fast, not like the fastest. He don't look as fast as like Tank and Devin and Ryan do. But his timing was on point. He always had his lead foot in the right spot, with the whole southpaw orthodox shit. And he was handling business, man. Frank looks good.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Derek James did a masterful job with him. I think they had a hell of a camp. I think they need to. Hopefully, they know what they was doing. Hopefully, they wrote it down. Honestly, I thought I'm serious. They must have had a hell of a camp because he made him look pedestrian.
But I mean, like they said, all he had was the right hand. Like he couldn't even set up his right hand shot of Rivera.
Facts.
He had no jab. He had no traps. He didn't do nothing.
Yeah,
And that's why I was like, ugh, like, because going into it, I thought it was a 50-50. I thought it was the old boxer versus like a pressure fighter. That's kind of how I saw it looking. And I was like, all right, it's gonna be a good fight. I got everyone hyped up. Told my brother, everyone, hey man, it's gonna be a good fight tonight. It's two guys right here, you know. Well, yeah, he got fucking washed. You know, now I think to be realistic about matchups, obviously, you know, we have the promoter wars. So it'd be nice to see him in Shakur something. It ain't happening. Top rank in PBC, it ain't happening. So on PBC, it's looking like I think either Rolly or Isak Cruz would be a good step up to see really where he's at. Because
well, you got promoter wars within PBC. You know what I mean? I'm shocked Samson took that fight, but never again, because that's the same thing that prevented Gary Russell from fighting those Latinos. It's the same way that I think will happen to Frank Martin within PBC. I'm hoping for him to get a fight because he's gonna show up and show out.
I think so. I think I want to see the last piece that I want to see from Frank Martin is an important one that I've seen throughout the years that a lot of fighters don't get tested is how do they look going backwards? You know what I mean? Like a lot of these fights, they're built up for the one fighter to look good for the most part until you get to that big fight. So most of the time, these fighters are used to being the person in control of ring generalship, walking forward. If they do choose to go back because they're choosing to try to trap someone. But what happens when the competition is just as good or better at being able to push you back? They got some power that can walk through your shit. It's a little different. We've seen it happen with Tyson. We've seen it happen with Wilder. Right. They got to go backwards. They got someone that can stand up to them. It's a little different. So I think that Isak Cruz, that pressure would be like, which one of those two are going backwards? Frank Martin or Isak Cruz? Right. You know, even with Rolly's a hard-hitting dude too. Even Tank said he hits hard, man. But it could be good. 135 is fucking stacked.
I would say it again.
135 is fucking stacked.
They're not gonna fight each other though. They're not fighting each other. Don't get your hopes up too high. That shit ain't happening, dog. It's not happening.
You don't think none of the middle of the pack dudes? I know that the stars won't, but you don't think none of the middle pack dudes will fight each other?
Who would you consider the middle of the pack? So I have an idea.
Well, I mean, obviously, like the top dudes would be like Haney, Tank, Loma. I guess for now, probably. I guess you can. I don't hate Orion as much as others. I don't think he's as good, but as far as star power, a big fight, he's still a big draw. And then I think Frank Martin's like in that second bunch, like Frank Martin, Isak Cruz, Rolly, maybe like I think Coleman and Nakatani are probably a step down because they're on their back end. Shakur is probably in the elite category, even though he's unproven at the weight, but so he probably rounds out the 5, and then the next 5, I think Martin's up in that next 5.
Right. Yeah, I would agree. Great point. I like see, in theory, it makes sense because Pitbull was on Earl Spence undercard, if I'm not mistaken, or Frank Martin is Earl Spence fighter. It would make perfect sense for them to fight each other. Oh, that would be fun. Oh, imagine Earl Spence on an Earl. Man, that's too much sound like right, man. Let me get Dana Jones in, man, because we're gonna be creating these narratives knowing damn well it ain't gonna happen. If I'm Bud and Spence, I be trying to fight in the Middle East like AJ. Eddie loves to state he's in the AJ business, not the DAZN business, and AJ made 70 million. He made a lot of money. I would agree. See, I'm gonna tell. Hopefully, I hope someone from both their teams are listening. I would tell them, take the guarantee on the first fight. If it's 20, 25 million, 18 million, take the guarantee on the first fight because Wilder did less than 100,000. Tank Davis is going to do, he's hovering around what, 200,000? Right? So take the guarantee and then you come back and negotiate. You come back and negotiate with PBC. You negotiate with Black Prime. Bob Arum ain't putting out no money. But you renegotiate the rematch, but you take the guarantee on the first fight, because the first fight is the promotion for the second fight. And then y'all might be in the $1 million range for the pay-per-views. And if you're in the $1 million range for the pay-per-view, it makes sense, But I don't think they're at $1 million pay-per-views. The reason why I think they're not in $1 million pay-per-views, because I think both of them collectively have turned some fans off. I by being so passive aggressive and be like, nah, I'm cool. Terrence Crawford says I'm a Hall of Famer without him. Spence say he's not going to be next, So I think that you get what I'm saying. Like, I think they're in like a precarious position because they're not Roy Jones. Roy Jones said 60-40, take it. We fight next. Dude said, Antonio Tarver said 60-40 it is. They fought. So you got to have the respect of the fan base,
They really might not ever fight though. Like, it's really getting to the point where they might not ever fucking fight. Because just based off the lineup for next year, Bud said he's trying to fight maybe like March, April. Spence said he ain't gonna be ready till May, June. Right now, those kind of close, but I don't see Bud trying to wait till June to fight again. So if he takes another fight before, is he a duck again? Because he wants to get paid instead of just fucking waiting on Earl like he's been waiting on Earl, which I understand. Earl got in another accident. They need to get right, whatever. At least that's what he said in the interview, right? And he said he was going to announce the Keith Thurman fight, but the accident happened.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he didn't say Keith Thurman. He said he was announcing his fight.
A big fight. Yeah.
But then the dumb fucking interviewer didn't say at what. See, I'm smart. I would have said at what weight class were you fighting at? I wouldn't have asked him what opponent. See, I'm smart like that. See, I wouldn't have. Are you fighting Keith Thurman? No, I would have said, what weight class you fighting at, Earl? If he would have said 147, that's all I needed to hear. You get what I'm saying? But that's the difference.
They're more apt to let the weight off because that's like, it's nothing. Oh yeah, it's more casual.
Yeah. He would have said 147. I'm coming back at 147. And once he said that, the fans would have known it would have been Keith Thurman.
Yeah, because they ain't gonna be Bud. There ain't no one left at PBC.
Right.
There ain't gonna be Boots. So
and Earl would have answered that question. You get what I'm saying? He would have answered. I'm fighting at 147.
That's some old techniques right there. I see.
Yeah, I'm giving game. That's why. I mean, I would have been a Hall of Famer. But I chose to serve right. I chose to serve what I believe was right instead of. I should have said fuck all y'all because, man, these motherfucking journalists were cowards, man. I fucking stood on right. The motherfuckers tucked their tails, and who gives a fuck? We way past that now. Fred on his own. What's up, Ramen?
Hey, what's up? What's up, Fred? Hey, I wanted to. Can you hear me pretty good? Yeah. I'm back in the Virginia side. I wanted to double down on what you were saying as far as I think you were saying they messing with fate or something like that, or like yo, I don't think many young people pick that up. You know what I'm saying? I think it doesn't start hitting you to you like in your 35, 40s and whatnot. I can look back on life and I would say like the first time I messed with that was when I made a choice between two jobs and whatnot. One job was paying. Now it was back in New York. It was a security job, and I was thinking about getting into law enforcement and stuff like that. And it was a security job paying about $10 to $15 an hour, and I had the option of going with a telecommunications company. I think it was Verizon. I'm pretty sure it was Verizon when they first started out, and when they first started combining the AT&T and all them other companies and whatnot. And they were offering $7 an hour as an apprentice or something like that, but I would have been making like $20 to $30 an hour if I would just went through the course for a year. And stupid me as a young man, I went with the job that was paying the most at the time and whatnot. And I pretty much got fired from that job. Economy, whatever the case may be, whatever situation was. But I got fired from that job, and I never got another chance to get back in with the telecommunications company with that. And I often go back to that because I would probably have been retired right now. You know what I'm saying? As far as the time I would have spent with the telecommunications company. But a lot of young people don't get that, man. Like, when it's that time to do something, you gotta jump on it. You gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? And I saw the same thing you saw. I was like when it came through the news feed, first I saw the T-shirt, and then I heard about the accident, and I was like, that's God talking to these dudes, man. I was like, that's God definitely talking. Like, that's fate, the universe, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? God is a boxing fan too. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's, you know what I mean? Like, he's all encompassing and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, we all going to get our little signals, our little messages. You know what I mean? As far as when we took the wrong road or when we took the wrong path, and here that is playing out. You know what I'm saying? For the whole boxing community to see. You know what I mean? And I don't think a lot of people see that stuff. I mean, Fred, you got a good eye on that. You got a good eye on that. Right?
Yeah, man. It's so important because, like you said, I'm 45, and I shared it in the video I did last week. I made a lot of mistakes, man. And if I could see, Earl would only hear this from his grandmother. His grandmother could say the same thing I'm saying. If I say it, I'm hating. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Fuck you, Fred. You're not rooting for Earl no more. You this, you that. No. I'm telling this man, you're fucking with God's divine order. How the fuck you know you're fucking with God's divine order? Because God want to see you at your apex. God wants you to be the best you can be. And when you make the left turn and God tell you to go straight, your ego say turn left when you know you're supposed to go straight. Shit. Now you fucking with some unknowns. And I think Earl, see, if I'm looking at this situation, and I hopefully Earl is listening. If I'm looking at this situation, I'm looking at the car accident. I'm looking at the retina. I'm looking at this single car accident. I say, hold up. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? Fuck the car accidents. Fuck your car insurance. Fuck the jokes. What am I doing wrong? Because now I'm gonna tell you this. Since I've had this podcast, my life has been booming. You know why? Because I'm fucking home. I'm home every night. It used to be 9. Well, I wasn't out during COVID anyway. I was always home doing homework with the kids, and I had to teach the kids during the day. It literally put life and family in perspective, COVID. And now that I moved the show to 7:30, I'm home by 5:30. Home I have dinner at 5. We take showers at 6:30. I'm down here by 7, waiting on the show to start, and I'm telling you, man, it's done wonders for my life. Wonders for my life. Because Frederick in real life is not accountable to anyone. Frederick can be Frederick at night. Frederick can be Frederick at night, day, whenever I want to. And I think most men can be that way, And when you give a man like the proverbial key to the city, I know hundreds of celebrities. I got a lot of money. I'm not famous, so which means I can get in and out of crevices anytime I want to. But I choose to stay home, and the reason why I know I made the right decisions, and understand where I'm coming from. Families together. My family's together. During COVID, I did 2 movies and bought a mansion. The shit wouldn't have happened if I was fucking out every fucking night, committing sins, bullshit. I don't drink, you know what I mean? So my sins probably would have been women, gambling, whatever else, gaining weight, eating and shit, you know what I mean? But I said, I'm home. I'm home, man.
And that type of fortune comes from following the divine order, as you stated earlier.
I know. I 100% know it. And that's what I would tell Earl. That's what I would tell Earl, man. Like, hold up. Like, I know these things are happening. Don't look at it from as me and Champion Heart. Shout out to Champion Heart. He's driving just like you tonight, man. Shout out to Champion Heart. You got to look at it from 50,000 feet. Look at this shit from 50. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? Should I have done this? Should I have done that? You know, and this is a conversation only you can have with yourself. That's it. No one else. You can't have this with your conversation with your grandma, because nobody truly knows everything you do every day but you. And honestly, if this would have happened to me, I mean, y'all probably would have said, Fred, God damn, you might need to slow. And you know what old men say? Hey, little homie, you might need to slow down. You know, you might need to cool it down. You might need to stay in the house for a bit. You know what I mean? So so that's where it's at, man. I just want these men to be successful, man. And I really do, man. And I root for Earl. Like, Earl is one of these guys. I saw Earl's first professional fight. I root for these men, you know, and man, I don't know, man. I think if he fights Keith Thurman, he might as well fight Terrence Crawford. That's it's the same fight. It's the same risk. It's the same risk. You hate him, he hates you. You don't want to pay him, you don't want to fight him. Same risk. You might as well get 20 million instead of 5. That's all I'm saying. But when you got when Al Heyman, because he said he's rocking with Al Heyman forever. Now, you see, you can't do that in real life. You can't do that in real life. You got to have a lawyer for the lawyer. What's up, Zoe? I got you in a second. If you don't have a lawyer for the lawyer, they're gonna get you. Listen, if Floyd Mayweather is fighting exhibitions, chasing money, I see the same thing happening to every other fighter. You know, at some point, there is going to be 2 or 3 that make it out and never have to fight again and do this. But for the most part, 90% of fighters come back. If they don't get a boxing job, they come back. You know, and I wouldn't trust nobody with my career. 100%. I can't, because you got to think about it from this perspective. Is Al Heyman more loyal to you or more loyal to the networks?
Network.
He got to be more loyal to the networks. They pay him.
I would say networks. Yeah.
They exactly my point. Case in point, Floyd Mayweather, Steven Espinoza. Who was he more loyal to? Steven Espinoza. He wasn't more loyal to Floyd. But that's just business. This ain't hate on Al. That's just business 101.
You gotta know what side of the bread the butter's on, man.
Exactly. What's up, Zoe? What's up, Zoe? You always have a unique perspective, man. What's up? You on mute, dog? Zoe.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna kick him out.
Ever since you've been talking, Fred, I've been kind of looking at things from that, because my thing is, you know, whether I believe it or not, I'm gonna look at it from that side and see if it makes sense. And a lot of things you've been saying, I'm like, okay, that I can see that makes sense. That makes sense too. That makes sense too.
Right.
And that's why I started looking at this shit. Like, it was like, I think you mentioned before that you control the belts and you control the money, right? And I was like, well, that makes sense in the Bud and Spence situation, because they got 3 of the belts. If Bud takes some belts and he's gone with them, they lose all their welterweight leverage, because they won't have no champions no more. At one point, they had 3 of the belt. Well, they've always had those 3 belts, I think, for the most part. All they had was that one random belt with Pacquiao Horn that went to Bud. There was a top ranked belt, but the other 3 been PBC belts, no matter how you mix and match them.
Right. No, you're right. Zoe's back. Unmute yourself, Zoe. Unmute yourself. There you go, man. Go ahead, dog. You always have a unique perspective. Where you coming from tonight? So,
Oh man, what's going on with you? No, I was gonna say that to really be honest, I don't think the fight happens. And
nope.
like I said before, I really
Damn, Zoe, I want to hear your perspective. You always come in here like not thinking what I'm thinking, dog. Now you in a bad area.
Like everybody else wants the fight to happen, but I just think that at the end of the day, the PBC gas is gonna take what. Can you understand? Can you hear me now?
No, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
We had 3 words.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Try that. Go ahead.
You hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, well, I was gonna say that I just think that Bud, he's looking for an amount of money that I think with Al and them, they just have their set budget and everything else, and it's like at the end of the day, you want the fight to get made, but they're like, well, listen, we can go with the PBC guys in our stable. It's gonna take what we give them. We're gonna take the percentage that we give them. Gonna deal with whenever the funds are allocated to them. They're gonna deal with the checks. They're gonna deal with the way PBC and Al Heyman does money. Showtime and etc. And with Bud is like, well, listen, I want this, that, and the third. I want to see the books. I got these questions. I got that question. I'm used to this. I'm used to that. And they're just like, the only person we're gonna bend knee to is Canelo. That's the only person they're gonna bend knee to. So it's like with Bud, I just don't. Like I said, man, I just don't see the fight getting made no more. I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that if it didn't get made last year, and with this year with them, if he fights Thurman, if Spence goes and fights Thurman, the fight is not going to happen. This fight is not going to happen because at the end of the day, Spence said he would never do that. And if he's able to go, and then that's possibly really a review that really could do some good numbers. Like, I think really that fight, if Thurman hypes it right, they hype the fight right. Like I said, man, I doubt the Bud fight happens, man, to be honest.
Yeah, I doubt the Bud fight happens too at this point, because their schedules are going to be way different. One person is going to be 1 month out of fight, and then the next person is going to fight in 3 months. So that means they off schedule, and no one's going to wait for each other. And everybody got an ego. They see they in their prime and they wealthy. They rich. I don't know if they wealthy, but they rich. You understand what I'm saying? So they happy. They got he lives in Omaha. Earl lives on a ranch. They're wealthy. They're rich. They're happy. Families are together. It's the holiday season. So from a personal level, they couldn't be doing better. So they're like, man, shit, if you're not gonna bow down to me, I don't need you. Shit, if you're not gonna bow down to me, I don't need you. So it's like me. The reason why there was a delay in if you guys remember, I stayed at Dre's mom's house dad's house parents' house for about 15, 16, about 18 days. If you guys remember that, because of the negotiations for this house, and I had to do some clean. I had to fix some stuff up on this house before we moved in. That's why there was an 18-day gap. And I'm gonna tell you what I did. Dog. The agent for this house was a young guy. He was real arrogant. He was getting a six-figure deal on this house. So he was real arrogant. He took pride in this house. He had a little ego to him, So you know what I did? I spoke direct. I called the owner one day. I said, listen, here's where we're at with it. I want the house, and I think your agent is being a little overzealous. He's taking ownership of the house. And but I'm telling you, I want the house. So I'm gonna let you know how we're doing, where we're at. Because in the middle of this of us negotiating, the rates went up in the spring. Oh man, the rates went up. So what I did was I had to get a new appraisal so I had to shop. I had to go from loan officer to loan officer to see if I can get a lower rate. You understand what I'm saying? So I called the owner of this house, and now we're friends. He and I are friends, and he'll tell the story. He'll come on the show one day, and that's exactly what happened. So I had to shop, I had to get it reappraised, and I had to get a new loan because the rates jumped up in April when I closed, when I was in negotiations for this. The rates just went sky high, and Dre was anxious and wanted to move, and it was a trying 45 days. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, but that's what I did. So and that's what I would tell Earl and Terrence. Talk to the fucking owners. The owners are Earl and Terrence. Fuck Al. Fuck everybody else. Fuck Bob. Fuck BLK Prime. Fuck everybody. Y'all talk to each other. Even if it takes 5 conversations, 6 conversations, you know, but that's the maturity. I'm 45. You know, I'm giving this man millions of dollars. And the guy who has no stake in it, he has no stake in it. He doesn't pay no mortgages. He don't pay no taxes on it. He's like, man, you got to do it like this. I'm like, man, I done bought, you know how many properties I done bought? Because I sound 25 on the phone. I sound I sound like a coconut on the phone, but I sound young. And so he thought he was dictating to me. And I was like, okay. So I went on my program, right? Because I got a program. That's how I was able to get all the celebrities and stuff for doing COVID. And I got friends who work in the government, right? So I said, so I called my friend that work in the government. I said, can you get the number for the person who owns it? I got it in 5 minutes. I called him in 10 minutes and I just started talking to him. And then the agent called me mad. And that's what Al is going to do to Earl. Al going to call Earl mad. Man, what's going on, man? I don't know. What's going on? Man, fuck your middleman. Fuck your middleman. And that's what happened. So I think Earl and Terrence need to just go back and forth for a month. You know, here's what I want. Here's what I want. Hey, fuck you now. But hey, I'll call you in 3 days and I'll see where I'm at with it. I'll call you in 2 days, see where I'm at with it, you know? And that's it. Because in translation, the agent is going to tell the owner, hey, man, I don't think he really wanted, man. He said he got to get a new loan, man. But I got this other guy who's interested, man. He going to pay us more. He going to do this. So I said, fuck him. Because I know what he's going to tell the person who owns this house that I'm in now. I know what he's going to tell him. Man, he faking the funk, man. He just trying to tie the house up, man. You want to pull out? That's what he going to tell him. So I called the owner and told him I got to get a new loan because the interest rates just jumped. And it worked. I'm here. True story. Ramen, what's up?
I say it is cheaper when you cut out the middleman.
Man.
It
And Al
definitely
Heyman's the middleman.
You know, I mean, if you can find some way, I mean, if you got to use the middleman to finalize the deal, fine. But I think the two parties, like you say, should definitely go ahead and negotiate. You know what I'm saying? In good faith with each other, and you know, be transparent in what they need to hear. And when they go back to the middleman like that, they actually have more power. True. You know what I mean? Because now Al can't tell Harold, well, I'm working in your best interest. Well, if you're working in my best interest, you'll get this fight done. Yeah. And you'll get it done this way, the way we worked it out. You know.
Listen. Oh, go ahead. I've been talking for Max.
No, you go ahead. Yeah.
No, Max. Max one.
Nah, man. I'm just soaking up game. I think a lot of this stuff is common knowledge, but I still think a lot of people just don't really think about it because I think a lot of people just attach the identity of the person they root for and like that they can't say, okay, player, person A, person B, these are their actions. These are what makes sense logically. Take away that it's Al or Earl or Bud, just business. You know what I mean? And here's what it is. Hey, Al Heyman let motherfuckers know nobody's touching this but me. He ain't willing to negotiate and have no co-promotion. No. He was. I think he wants Bud to sign PBC and not. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I don't think we can get this shit, bro. It's like we're gonna have to look for something else, man. I mean, I don't know what's really left for Bud if this ain't there, because he is. I mean, he can't fight no one on PBC. It's half the welterweight division. He goes up. The champ is still PBC, Charlo. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he might just be he might have just got boxed out from doing anything.
Yeah, he'll fight his mandatory, his WBO mandatory, so he'll be set for another 18 months.
It looks like he could be Boots.
It don't matter. He'll fight him. He got to fight him, and that'll be a big fight. So I don't know when his mandatory is up, but we'll see. Zoe. So, but I don't understand the concept. See, if I was doing business and if I was Earl, main guy, I'd be like, Earl, what's the difference between Earl, for real, for you personally, from man to man? I'm your friend. I'm with you 100 grand, but I am your friend. I have the right to tell you the truth. Right? Truth? Right? Earl, the truth, Spence. So I am Frederick, the truth, Hawthorne. What's the difference in your head between Keith Thurman and Terrence Crawford? Tell me the difference. And I believe Earl would say, I hate
you
Keith
said
Thurman.
Between who?
In your opinion. Okay, let me ask y'all before I give my opinion. If you're Earl Spence right now, right? What's the difference between Keith Thurman and Terrence Crawford? Who wants to go first? Ramen, you want to go first? Oh, no, Zoe, you're up. Go ahead, Zoe. Zoe. I think we got a bad connection with you, dog.
I would say, as far as the difference, I think really what it boils down to, can you hear me? I was saying, as far as the
Nah, you gotta keep.
I would say that again. Keith Thurman is gonna be willing to take.
I'm gonna kick you out.
It's gonna be easier.
I'm gonna kick you out, Zoe. You gotta come. Max, you want to respond?
I think are you saying looking at it from Earl's perspective?
Yeah, if you're Earl Spence, you're literally Earl Spence. What's the difference between Keith Thurman and Terrence Crawford to Earl Spence?
I think obviously I think the Thurman fight's a lot easier to get made because they're both going to just take whatever Al gives them. There's no negotiation really. There's not really a process in that, I don't think. Probably an easier fight, but yeah, I just feel like if you're gonna fight Thurman, you might as well fight Bud, bro. Like, why would you go? Why would you fight Thurman right now? I mean, if this was Thurman, 4 or 5 years ago when he had 2 belts, it makes sense. But like, what leverage does Thurman have? He's coming off of Mario Barrios win from a year ago. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question though.
Yeah, Ramen, go ahead. I'll bring you in. Mob the one in a second. Mob the one. Moby. I'll bring you in a second after Ramen. If you're Earl Spence, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I wouldn't even. I still wouldn't do it. Like I wouldn't want to do it because I know that Keith Thurman being there, it's all a part of that process that Al Heyman. It's all Al Heyman. Like I mean, I'm in agreement with you about that because there's no coincidence in that. You know what I mean? Keith Thurman, 2 fights in the past, 5 years or something like that, or whatever the number is. And then all of a sudden he gets into a title eliminator, and then all of a sudden now he's the mandatory. Like that's all Al Heyman right there. Like I wouldn't even you just been manipulated. Like that's not even a question. Like if I'm a thinking man, the way I think these days, and not just a young man that just go along with what the OG is, OG Al Heyman is spitting in my ear. Like I'm be like, nah, you just played me, dog. Like you just played me. I want undisputed. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, and to be fair though, there is no difference. You know what I'm saying? One of them you said you wouldn't fight. The other one said you're gonna wait till till after your master plan, of clean up your side of the street. Your side of the street is clean though. So I go right back to that. Like what is the purpose? Like, that's where I got on it, man. I don't want to take up too much of the time, but I like that whole thing infuriates me. Like that he got played like that. I feel like Errol Spence got played by Al Heyman. You know what I'm saying? And I fucks with Errol Spence hard. Like that's just the only thing that I don't like about that situation.
Nah, I mean, I would say many of us are Earl Spence fans, but I'm not the guy that's just gonna sit and just run with a narrative. Nah, not at 45 years old, man. Nah, I'm free as a bird, man. Boxing don't pay me shit. I make $300 a month off this channel. You know what I mean? So I'm not doing this for no likes or none of that shit. I just want to open up these fighters' eyes to the reality of what the fuck is going on. But we got the one. What's up, dog?
What's going on, Fred?
Hey, how you feel, dog? Go ahead. Tell us what you got.
All right. My personal opinion on it. I mean, I feel like Thurman would be the easier fight when it came to Earl, and the only difference between the two is that it's one for undisputed and one is just basically a side of the street fight, if you want to say that. But fighting Thurman is more like a setup. Like I agree with the last call. So, I mean, I don't know how they will go about it, but I feel like he needs to fight Crawford, but they pushing him toward Thurman.
Got it. Yeah. Anything else you want to add? Because you came in on that question. I know you probably have something else to say as it pertains to what we're saying.
No, not at the moment. I just been listening in for the most part. That's all I want to add on that topic right now. But I'm just paying attention to the show. I did drop you a message early on in the chat though.
Okay, gotcha.
Right.
Yeah, man. I think that if you look at it from a realistic perspective, if you look at the last 2 years of Errol Spence's career, I'm fighting once a year, right? I'm at 147. I'm getting older, as he says. It's getting more challenging to make weight. What do I want from 147? Do I want to be undisputed and make more money? Or do I want the easier fight and align myself with the plans of Al Heyman? Because I'm not fighting again until next February, next March. If you're fighting in June, your year is over at PBC. Like, it's no way you're fighting twice in a year, So, so he got to be pragmatic. Fuck what the best situation is. What's the most realistic situation? And these are the decisions that he has to make. Do I want more money and undisputed, or do I want a basically easier fight and believe that Al Heyman has the best for me? That's a decision Earl has to make. That's it. And there's other factors to come in play, but I don't know how many times Earl can make 147. I don't know. It's tough. I saw some titles on Ellie that I haven't watched yet. He was talking about making weight, or I haven't watched it yet, but we'll see what that says. But it's gonna be challenging, and you got to weigh the pros and cons. I weighed the pros and cons here. Moving. I weigh the pros and cons with when I want to rent to a tenant. We all weigh pros and cons. And Earl seriously got to make a decision for Earl Spence and his father and his child and his beautiful family. He has a beautiful family now. He really got to make that decision for them, not for I'm all in with Al. because Al ain't paying Andre Berto right now. Al ain't paying Floyd Mayweather. Who else is retired? He ain't paying Sean Porter right now. Sean Porter ain't doing no cards for PBC. Ain't no cards to do. He went as a fan last night. He wasn't on that motherfucker, you know. So you got to make it for yourself. And I hope he makes the right decision. I hope it works out for him. You know. And he got to be honest with him and his body. Where am I at physically? We'll never know. He'll never answer the question honestly. I would never tell the public how I feel for real physically. I would say I feel great. I feel amazing. I'm in the best shape I've ever been, you know, and but he has to answer that question. Where am I physically? Can I make 147? Is my body deteriorating? Am I getting stronger? Only Earl can answer that when he's in the shower, when he's in bed by himself, when he's watching one of his favorite movies, watching cartoons, watching a movie with his kid. He can only answer that question himself. It'll never be a public conversation, and it should never be, because you don't want to fuck up your money. So where is he? And we'll see. You know, we'll see moving forward. But if he fighting Keith Thurman, I think the goal would be Canelo. If he fights Keith Thurman, the goal is Canelo, in my opinion. So we'll see in June. In June, dog. That shit sound retarded. That shit sounds like years away. June? Man. I wish a motherfucker would say, hey, you fight, hey, you getting a job in 6 months. Well, shit, I got 5 months to figure out what else I'm gonna do. So that's where I would be. Anyone want to respond to that? Ramen, you want to respond? Anything?
No, but I had a question.
Yes, please.
I know the music industry. I heard about Chameleonaire auditing his publisher or whatever, or the company he was signed with. Is that a thing? Is that a thing in boxing? Like,
no,
to audit their promoter?
You know, that's one of the first videos I've ever done was auditing. And if you are a pay-per-view fighter, you should have an auditor. And guess what? An auditor will do it on contingency, because it's so much money in auditing. Oh my gosh. Because it's so many territories that you don't know about. And if I'm a headliner on a pay-per-view, I have an auditor. That's one of the first things I tell fighters, get an auditor. You know, but they don't.
Well, that's just most fighters operate on blind trust. And you know, just trusting that this promoter going to be right for them and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. I would definitely get an auditor. It only makes sense. That's like hiring a trainer. So if I'm like Wilder, if I'm like, if even Mike Tyson, he can still get them books audited. You know, he got millions of dollars hanging in there. I mean, the money, shit. And Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather, they still got money that's owed to them. They'll never know the true numbers because they don't come in at the same time. Because you got people getting refunds, you got people who may have ordered it on Sunday, stuff like that. So it just keeps going and going and going. So
that's all I wanted to know for that. I need to derail it.
All right. Max, what you got? Max chilling. Mob, anything? Oh, you got Moby. Excuse me, Moby.
It's Mob, actually.
Oh, okay. The E is silent.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people do that. But it's probably a little off subject from Earl and Crawford and Thurman, but
no problem.
When it comes to Martin and Rivera, do you think Rivera would do good with a new trainer?
Good question. Yes. Because even on his jab, he was over his front foot. You know, he was leaning over. He had no idea. His footwork was not great.
It was decent, but it wasn't great because Frank
Yeah,
Martin was turning him at will.
he never landed a left hook the whole fight. I mean, either Frank Martin is that good, or it's a combination of both. He should get a new trainer. But I mean, I give Derek James all the credit in the world, man. I ain't even gonna lie. I give Derek James, man, that motherfucker looked average last night.
Yeah, he did. He made it look like he ain't belong in the ring with him.
Yeah, I give that Derek James did a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. Yeah. I was happy for him. I was rooting for him, and I'm happy he won.
Oh yeah, I was rooting for him too. I got another question too. Is AJ really working with Derek James?
I think they're gonna end up together. Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, that'll be good for him.
Yeah, because when Derek James, when Derek, see, I know Derek James. Whenever Derek James gives that half sarcastic smile, that means he's not giving. He's lying.
Okay, good.
So he kind of smirked. He gives that confident smirk. He's lying. So I believe he's going to work with him. I believe AJ and Derek James are going to work together. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that'll be a real good competition. I mean, a real good combination because that'll bring AJ back to the top for real.
Oh, he said he wasn't. Everybody say that when they lose. You know, I had problems making weight. Yada, yada, yada. Well, Frank Martin had the same weight at 135. Make the weight. He had the same contract you had, you know. So it's on you. You agreed to it. Same thing I tell Shakur. I mean, I can't change the rules, you know. I can't change my disposition, so it's on him. So y'all want to give y'all final word? You want to give your final word, Ramen?
Yeah. I mean, well, it's on you. I'm pretty satisfied with your final words. So I mean, I just came on to learn a little bit more about the game and stuff like that. Express that that you spot on about that divine order and stuff like that. So
yeah.
I wish everybody a good night and peace and blessings.
Nah, drive safe. Drive
yes,
safe.
Sir.
Yeah, thank you, dog. All y'all truck drivers, man. All your Uber drivers, man. All your Instacarts. All your factory workers that's working graveyard, man. Be careful, man. Look in every direction on your way, man. I think like factory workers are like that. You know, they like licks, man. You know what I mean? Your car is parked out there all night, man, and you never know who's watching you, man. So y'all be careful out there, man. You know what I mean? What's up, Moby? I mean, Mo, any final words?
Yeah. I mean,
is it Mob or Mo?
Mo.
Thank you, Mo. Go ahead.
Yeah. I just want to give a shout out to the chat. I do like coming. I check out the barbershop all the time. You do an amazing show every time you come on. But I would love to get with you sometime, learn more about boxing, get some investment information from you. Because it seems like you'd be a great mentor.
For sure. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for the kind words.
You're welcome. And have a good night, Fred.
Thanks, dog. Max, what's up, big homie? I think I'm gonna pick my Patreon back up, man, because man, I ain't even gonna lie, man. I really want us all to be wealthy, man. Like, it's a different life, man. Like, I know I'm arrogant. I know I got an ego. I'm full of shit. All that's true, but man, and it's not from I can buy myself anything. Lincoln has basketball practice 3 times a week, minimum 3 times a week. He has piano. He has 2 piano lessons a week. All of that is from resources that I can provide. Fuck what I do for myself. I can afford to pay for Lincoln to go to basketball practice 3 times a week and has piano lesson twice a week. Kennedy goes to dance twice a week. She has piano. She has 1 piano lesson a week. And that comes from resources, you know, and I would love for us to put our kids in the best position possible, man. You know what I mean? It's man, it's so important, man. And I compare that to me as a child. My mom literally had no resource, man. None, zero, zilts. You know what I mean? No resources. You know, so. And honestly, I was a basketball trainer away from probably being, man, I would have had a basketball trainer from the 5th grade to the time I graduated from high school. What? What? And Lincoln's in the 2nd grade. So he gonna be all right. Once them genetics kick in, you know, he gonna be all right. What's up, Max? So I encourage everybody, man. Try and find a way to make $1,000 from your phone. Figure it out. You know what I mean? Whether it's stocks, whether it's trading on, whether it's Amazon, whether it's, I don't know, but find a way, whether it's reselling vinyl, whether it's reselling shoes, whether it's reselling autographs, memorabilia. Find a way to make an extra $1,000 from your phone, man. It makes a world of a difference, dog. And there's a million ways to do it, you know. Whatever's popping on Instagram, sell it. Sell it. You know, whatever the new craze is, sell it. You may get 2 sales the first time, then you may get 4, then you may get 5. Just never know, you know. So but yeah, man, what you got, Max? Max gone, man. Anyways, man, I appreciate y'all coming through tonight, man. Wait a minute, it says, no, I don't want to, kick you from the studio. Man, this was an awesome show, man. Hopefully someone from Team Spence was listening. Hopefully someone from Team Crawford was missing. Yeah, we push and motivated. Yeah. We got assets over liabilities in 2023. Y'all, assets over liability in 2023. That's what we on, man. I totally appreciate y'all coming through, man. But realistically, pragmatically, man, if I was sitting down with Earl Spence, I would ask him, what's the difference between Keith Thurman and Terrence Crawford? And how many times do you want to make 147? Is Undisputed more important than Al Heyman's plan? If Al Heyman's plan is the best, then I would say you stick to it, you know. And I would say leading Al Heyman would give you more leverage. You know, I don't know, man. I mean, I do know. Keith Thurman, how many pay-per-views Keith Thurman would do? 350? 350 pay-per-views? That fight would have to be in Dallas. I don't think they can put that fight in Vegas. I don't think you could take a chance and put that fight in Vegas. I don't think so. I think you got to put that fight in Dallas. Because Keith Thurman didn't sell last time. So you got to put him somewhere where they can sell, get a crowd, get the energy up. And Earl Spence got 30,000 fans waiting on him. I think Keith Thurman can add another 10. I think they can do 40 to 45,000 people at Dallas Cowboy Stadium for that fight. I think that's good. I think they can do somewhere between 300 and 4, between 250 and 400,000 pay-per-view buys for that. But these streams, man, let me tell you about these streams. These streams are fucking amazing now, dog. Man, you think Keith and Earl does 400,000? Ain't nothing easy now. Ain't nothing easy. Nothing easy. Because if you under 30, people under 30 ain't buying pay-per-views now. I'm going to tell you that. People over 50 are buying pay-per-views. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the truth. So, they going to do amazing numbers in Dallas. They're going to do amazing numbers there. But we'll find out in February who he's fighting. Keith Thurman's been quiet. Less than 150 with economic downfall coming next year. We head into a recession. That's a fact. So all these factors need to. I think 350 is my bet, Kane. I would say 350. Because the devil is a lie. Hey. I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Thank y'all for coming through tonight, man. I know y'all had tons of options. Everybody talking about this. So you guys had tons of options, man. Appreciate y'all. Mañana, mañana, mañana.